the silent code of the universe. What if I told you that every coincidence in your life was a breadcrumb left by the universe? That song stuck in your head? The stranger who said exactly what you needed to hear? That gut feeling you couldn't explain? These aren't glitches in the matrix. They're clues. Clues to a code etched into reality itself. A code so ancient, your bones remember it. And tonight, you're about to crack it. This is the silent law, humming inside black holes, beating in your chest, and whispering through every sacred text since the dawn of time. A law so powerful, it's been suppressed, distorted, and buried under centuries of lies. But right now, if you're brave enough to listen, it's screaming through the static of modern life, as above, so below. By the end of this video, you'll see why your mind structure mirrors the cosmos, how governments and religions suppressed this truth to keep you small, and practical tools to hack reality's code. But first, let's shatter the biggest myth you've been sold, that you're separate from the universe. You aren't. You're its consciousness in human form. And that changes everything. Part 1. Fractals, fields, and the cosmic mirror. The ancient Hermetic philosophy, grounded in the wisdom of Egypt and Greece, teaches the law of correspondence, famously encapsulated in the phrase, as above, so below. This principle suggests a profound and inherent symmetry between all levels of existence. It posits that the macrocosm, the universe at large, is a reflection of the microcosm, the individual. These reflections are not just spiritual metaphors, but correspondences that exist across both the mystical and scientific domains. Over the centuries, this idea has evolved and been embraced by physicists, philosophers, and mystics alike. Today, it serves as a cornerstone in understanding reality as interconnected and relational, with consciousness at its core. The universal patterns of fractals. Fractals, a term introduced by mathematician Benoit B. Mandelbrot in 1975, are patterns that repeat at every scale. They have self-similarity, meaning that no matter how much you zoom into them, the same shapes or structures appear. It is no coincidence that fractals are found in nature everywhere, from the spirals of galaxies to the branching of trees, from lightning bolts to the network of neurons in our brains. Even the structure of our circulatory system bears striking resemblances to river systems or networks of streams. The Fibonacci sequence, another powerful mathematical tool, further exemplifies this idea. The Mandelbrot set is a mind-blowing mathematical shape that looks like an infinitely detailed snowflake. If you zoom into any part of it, no matter how small, you'll see the same patterns repeating over and over, just like how a single tree branch mirrors the whole tree, or how a tiny seashell spiral echoes the shape of a hurricane. What's wild is that this echo effect isn't random, it's baked into the rules of math itself. The deeper you go, the more complex it gets, but the core design never changes. In short, the universe copy-pastes itself, and you're part of the pattern. The holographic universe. Imagine the universe is like a hologram sticker. You know how if you break a hologram into pieces, each tiny shard still shows the full image? Scientists like David Bohm think reality works the same way. Every atom, every cell in your body, even your morning coffee, contains a hidden blueprint of the entire cosmos. You're not just in the universe, you are the universe looking at itself through human eyes. This blows up the old idea that we're separate from everything else. It's like realizing your phone screen isn't actually broken, those cracks were part of the design all along. Your thoughts, your DNA, and distant galaxies aren't isolated things, they're echoes of a single pattern repeating infinitely like a cosmic fingerprint. Practical takeaway: when you heal yourself, you heal the world. When you change your thoughts, you tweak the cosmic code. Reality isn't out there, it's a mirror. Carl Jung and the cosmic mirror of synchronicity. Carl Jung, the pioneering Swiss psychiatrist, developed the concept of synchronicity to describe meaningful coincidences that transcend ordinary cause and effect reasoning. Jung proposed that events in the outer world reflect the state of the inner world, and that the collective unconscious, the shared reservoir of human experience, shapes our perceptions and experiences. For Jung, these synchronicities were not mere coincidences, but manifestations of a deeper cosmic order that connects us all. Jung's theory of synchronicity mirrors the Hermetic understanding of as above, so below. It suggests that the events and experiences that occur in our lives are not isolated or random, but part of an interconnected cosmic order. The cosmic web of interconnection. Physicists such as Bohm, who developed the concept of the implicate order, argue that everything in the universe is interconnected, even if we do not fully understand how these connections work. Similarly, neuroscientists like Carl Friston have suggested that the brain operates as a predictive model, constantly using sensory information to update its internal representations of the world. In this sense, our consciousness is not merely passive, but actively participates in shaping our experience of reality. Part 2. Your inner world builds the outer one. A timeless truth that resonates through both ancient wisdom and modern science is this: your inner world shapes your outer world. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are not merely passive reactions to external events. They are creative forces that actively shape the world around you. The universe is not a fixed reality waiting to be observed. It is a dynamic system that responds to your consciousness. The observer effect and quantum mechanics, a bridge between inner and outer worlds. The idea that observation influences reality is not just metaphysical speculation. It is a foundational principle of quantum mechanics. The observer effect is a phenomenon wherein the act of observation alters the state of the system being observed. This is most famously demonstrated in the double-slit experiment. When particles like electrons are not observed, they behave as waves, existing in multiple states at once. However, once they are observed, they behave as particles, solidifying into a single state. In other words, reality is not a passive backdrop, but an active participant in a dialogue with the observer. This interaction is not limited to the subatomic level. Thoughts and emotions as creative forces. Every thought, belief, and emotion you entertain sends out energetic ripples that can alter the course of your life and the world around you. While this may sound like New Age mysticism to some, there is scientific backing for these ideas. Research into neuroplasticity reveals that the brain is constantly rewiring itself in response to the thoughts and experiences we have. The neurons in your brain create and strengthen connections based on your mental and emotional state. For example, a study published in Psychological Science showed that positive emotions can increase cognitive flexibility and problem-solving abilities, while negative emotions such as anxiety narrow focus and stifle creativity. In addition, Studies on heart coherence show that the heart's electromagnetic field, which extends several feet around the body, can be influenced by emotional states. When you feel love, joy, or compassion, the heart's energy field becomes more coherent, creating harmony in both the body and the environment. Conversely, emotions such as fear and anger produce erratic heart rhythms, which not only impact your body's physiology, but also affect the energy field around you, contributing to a more chaotic and fragmented experience of the world. This interaction between our inner states and the external world is reminiscent of Nikola Tesla's famous assertion: if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Tesla's work in electricity and magnetism helped pioneer the understanding that all matter vibrates at specific frequencies. From atoms to galaxies, everything in the universe is vibrating energy. Our emotions, love, fear, joy, anger, are not just abstract feelings, but vibrational states that influence and interact with the surrounding environment. Carl Jung and the Shadow. Integrating the unconscious. A key component of understanding how our inner world shapes the outer one comes from Carl Jung's concept of the shadow. Jung believed that the shadow consists of the parts of ourselves that we reject or repress. Our fears, anger, jealousy, and other emotions that are deemed unacceptable by societal standards or by our conscious mind. These shadow aspects don't simply disappear. Instead, they continue to influence us, often in unconscious ways. The shadow does not only exist on an individual level. It is projected outward, coloring how we perceive others and the world around us. If we suppress our own anger, for example, we may find ourselves becoming more easily irritated by the anger of others. Similarly, if we avoid confronting our own fear, we may attract chaotic situations that mirror that fear. The integration of the shadow, accepting and embracing those parts of ourselves we have been conditioned to reject, can lead to profound transformation. When we heal our inner world, we begin to see the outer world transform as well. The law of attraction and the quantum field. The idea that our inner states shape the outer world is also central to the concept of the law of attraction, popularized by books such as The Secret. According to this law, what we focus on, what we believe in, becomes a part of our reality. The science behind this is rooted in quantum physics and the concept of the quantum field, a universal field of potential that underlies all of reality. In this view, the universe is not a static environment, but a dynamic system where possibilities are constantly emerging. The quantum field responds to the energy that we emit, just as your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions send out energetic signals. These signals influence the quantum field, which in turn shapes your reality. For instance, if you consistently focus on fear and doubt, you are tuning your energetic frequency to a low vibrational state, attracting experiences that reflect those emotions. On the other hand, if you focus on abundance, gratitude, and love, you begin to vibrate at a higher frequency, attracting positive circumstances into your life. Part 3. The Great Suppression. This knowledge is powerful, and it's precisely because of this power that it has been systematically suppressed throughout history. The ancient Hermetic wisdom, the teachings of mystics, and the understanding of the interconnectedness of the universe have always had the potential to awaken individuals to their true creative power. But that power is a threat to those in control, be it religious authorities, governments, or corporations. When you believe that you are separate, powerless, or a random product of chance, you remain easily manipulated. But when you recognize that you are a creator, your influence expands far beyond the constraints imposed upon you. It's not just mystics and sages who have understood this. Modern science is slowly catching up to these ancient insights.
The suppression of knowledge. So, why has this knowledge been suppressed for so long? To understand this, we must look at the structures of power that have shaped human history. Historically, institutions, whether religious, governmental, or corporate, have thrived on disempowerment. A disempowered populace is easy to control. When you believe you are weak, fragmented, or incapable of shaping your own destiny, you become a compliant subject to external authority. The Church, for example, historically played a pivotal role in controlling knowledge and limiting access to higher wisdom. During the Dark Ages, the Catholic Church held immense power over intellectual life, suppressing anything that threatened its authority, including scientific discoveries and spiritual practices that promoted individual autonomy. Part 4. Practical Alchemy. The Spiritual Technologies. The path to living harmoniously with the universe begins within, and it is built on the foundation of consistent, conscious practices, sacred habits that realign our inner world with the natural order. 1. Meditation. Tuning your frequency. The practice of stillness allows us to clear the noise of everyday life and tap into the deeper rhythms that govern existence. A study conducted at Harvard University by Dr. Sarah Lazar found that regular meditation can actually increase the thickness of the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain associated with higher functions like decision-making and emotional regulation. Box breathing, calming the nervous system. Breath is the bridge between the mind and body. The practice of box breathing, where you inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4, can significantly calm the nervous system. This practice activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the rest and digest functions of the body. It counteracts the fight or flight responses triggered by stress, promoting emotional balance and mental clarity. 3. Evening rituals. Making the invisible visible. Rituals are deeply embedded in human history, and for good reason. They are an expression of our deepest beliefs and desires, encoded into physical actions. When we write 3 things we're grateful for, or reflect on a moment of growth, we are engaging in an act of meaning-making. 4. Transforming your environment. Reflection of the subconscious. Your environment is a mirror of your inner world. If you want to change your external reality, you must first transform the space you inhabit. The act of decluttering, cleaning a drawer, organizing your desk, invites clarity and helps dissolve mental clutter.
A clear, organized space encourages mental clarity and promotes a sense of inner peace. This principle is supported by scientific studies on the impact of our surroundings on mental well-being. Fill your space with items that reflect your values, goals, and aspirations. Sacred symbols, plants, crystals, art, or photographs of people and places that inspire you. 5. Mirror work, the power of self-love. One of the most powerful practices in spiritual alchemy is mirror work. Standing before a mirror and looking into your own eyes, saying kind words to yourself can be deeply transformative. It may feel awkward at first, but the effect of this simple practice is profound. 6. Shadow integration, embracing the dark. Shadow work is perhaps the most challenging but essential aspect of spiritual alchemy. When we face painful memories, suppressed emotions, or negative thought patterns, we often want to avoid them. But these shadow aspects hold valuable lessons in untapped power. Close reflection, the universe within. The phrase, as above, so below, is not a slogan, it's a doorway. You are the stardust dreaming of itself. The boundary between spirit and matter is thinner than breath. The revolution is not out there, it is you. Your thoughts are spells, your attention is currency, your life is a ritual. So wake gently and walk boldly. Align your inner cosmos and the outer cosmos will follow. As within, so without. As above, so below. The blueprint was never lost. It was always hidden in plain sight. In you.